Namaste. Today on Touch of Light, I want to talk about feeling inadequate. How does it happen that we feel inadequate? It always comes from comparing ourselves to someone else. Oh, they're smarter than I am. They're more beautiful than I am. They're more capable than I am. Therefore, I'm inadequate. If we just will stop comparing ourselves to other people, this whole problem will go away. But sometimes, and this is very often the problem, is that we aren't wise enough to compare ourselves properly. We don't see ourselves. We don't see the good that we do. We don't see the really positive qualities that we have. There's a beautiful story about an old woman who had two pots. And every day she would take these two pots, and she had a little yoke that she carried across her shoulders, and she would go to the well and fill the two pots with water and carry them home. Now, one of the pots was a very new, brightly painted pot, no chips, just beautiful. The other pot was old, and the paint had faded on it, and it even had a little crack in the side so that it couldn't hold water properly. And the pot with the crack began to feel inadequate, began to feel sorry for itself, and it began to weep. And the old lady came out and she said, "Don't weep. Please don't weep. Let me show you something." And so she picked up the two pots and she went to the well and she got water. And then as she was coming back, she said, "I want you to look at the side of the path. On one side, everything was barren. Nothing was growing, and that was the side of the pot that was beautiful and whole and had no flaws in it. On the other side, the side with the cracked pot, there were wild flowers and beautiful grasses and even a little tree." And she said, "See, you, when I fill you with water, you share that water on the way home. The other pot doesn't share its water." And so the cracked pot then realized that its very flaws were helpful to the world around it. Now, for us, our flaws aren't necessarily helpful, but what is important takeaway from this story is that we don't have the ability to see a large enough picture in order to judge ourselves. So when you feel inadequate, know that it's coming because you're comparing yourself to others, and just give yourself to God, give yourself to life, and be happy with who you are.